if you're in the market for anything that will improve your quality of life in 2024, or if you're looking for some last minute gifts, then you've come to the right place, because today I'm going to share with you every single one of my favorite items this year. Some of these things have literally changed my life and I'm not one to gatekeep, so I'm going to share them with you today. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I love making videos on lifestyle and personal growth, so if that's something that you're interested in, then definitely subscribe if you want to see more of that. I've divided this video into 4 sections: beauty, fashion, tech, and books. So feel free to skip to any one of those sections if you're looking for something specific. But without further ado, let's get into my 2023 favorites. First section that I wanted to talk about is beauty, and there are a few beauty items that I feel like have really improved my quality of life. The first beauty item that I really wanted to talk about is this blowout hair dryer. I really don't know what these, I think it's called like a square round brush, but everybody's like super into those Dysons. I honestly can't afford a Dyson Airwrap or even like the Shark one. I don't know what the Shark one is called, but my mom received this Foxy Bay square round brush from FabFitFun box. I'm not personally subscribed to FabFitFun. It's kind of a tongue twister, but my mom received it in this subscription box and I noticed she wasn't using it, so I asked her for it and she let me have it. And I feel like this thing literally makes my hair look like I just got a blowout. It's literally a hair dryer or hairbrush that is specifically designed to give you a blowout. I didn't use it today. I'm actually quite lazy with doing my hair, but whenever I do use it, it looks nicer than how my hair looks right now, if you can believe it. The way that I use this is normally I will dry my hair with a regular blow dryer as dry as I can, but still leave it like a little bit damp. And then I will go in with this and twist my hair in it like so. And then just like twist it all the way to the end and then let it go. It's really easy to use. I personally am uncoordinated with using a hair dryer and a round brush, so this is very, very convenient for me and it makes my hair look so nice. The next beauty item is actually a perfume, and that is the YSL Libre. In French it's pronounced Libre, so I feel like it's Libra or something like that. Anyway, it's the YSL perfume. I'm obsessed with this. I was gifted this on Christmas last year. It was not something that I actually wanted, but my brother's girlfriend gifted it to me for Christmas in like a sample pack of YSL things. And honestly, I wish I could let you smell this through the video, but it smells so expensive. Like, it makes me feel like a rich person wearing this. I honestly wish that I had the full-size bottle of this because I would be using this every single day if not, but I've been kind of like conserving this perfume. I only use it for like special occasions or if I'm like traveling. Like, I used this when I went to the Philippines. I honestly didn't even use that much. I would just dab a little bit on my neck and on my wrist and stuff. You don't really need that much to smell really good with this perfume. It smells honestly so good. I don't know what it is. I wish I could let you smell this, but it's really so good. Last beauty item that I wanted to talk about is this Aloe Soothing Sun Cream by Coast RX. Coast Prescription, I don't know what this is, but the brand name is right here. It's basically a facial sunscreen and this is a Korean brand. I honestly did not discover this by myself. My partner was actually the one that found this. By the way, my partner is actually more into skincare than I am. He's half Korean, so it makes sense, but honestly sometimes I just use the stuff that he has, and this is one of the things that he had, and I just like started using it because I want to protect my face from the sun. This thing is honestly the best sunscreen that I've ever used. Those are the only 3 beauty items that were my favorite items in 2023. I am being very selective on everything that I am talking about today, so you know that all of these things are things that I 100% love. I am not just trying to make you buy things just for the sake of it. These are things that throughout the year I have used these things and I 100% love them. So next section is fashion, and I have 4 things on here. One of them is just an honorable mention, so I guess like technically 3 things. But the first thing that I wanted to talk about in fashion is stainless steel jewelry. So as you can see, I wear these 2 necklaces every single day. I also have a couple of rings that I actually probably lost, so we're not going to talk about that, but in general, stainless steel jewelry. The reason why I bring up stainless steel jewelry is because these types of jewelry do not tarnish. I personally love wearing silver jewelry, and so I feel like it's easier to get silver stainless steel jewelry. I don't know if there's any gold stainless steel jewelry, but I have literally, like, it's the only type of jewelry that I buy now. Obviously, like, when I can afford it, I can probably buy different jewelry, different material jewelry, but for now, stainless steel jewelry is where it's at. I have not taken these two pieces of jewelry off since I got them. I wear these necklaces in the shower, and these types of jewelry are not expensive at all. They're probably like $20 on Amazon. You can get a nice necklace like this, and I'll show a picture of my partner's necklace and his jewelry because he also wears stainless steel jewelry. He wears it in the shower as well. Very practical and affordable jewelry if you are in the market for some jewelry or if you want to get someone some jewelry. Next fashion item is actually a pair of loafers. These are the Steve Madden, I feel like they're called trifecta loafers or something like that. I wear these loafers all the time. Ever since I got these loafers, I've just been wearing them like all the time. I even wore them to school and got really bad blisters. I really love really chunky shoes. At the time that I bought these, I really wanted to get the Prada shoes, and obviously I can't afford Prada, so I feel like these were like a really great alternative. I've just been really obsessed with chunky shoes ever since they became a trend. It has not stopped for me, and it's been reaffirmed ever since I went to Tokyo, and I hope that chunky shoes don't go out of trend because I just love them so much. But yeah, these are the Steve Madden trifecta, I think. Really great dupe for the Prada ones. I don't know what the Prada ones are called, but I'll probably put up a picture of them. Speaking of Prada, my next fashion item is actually this Prada bag. And I'm gonna be really transparent with you. This Prada bag is actually fake. We got this Prada bag in the Philippines when we visited back in August, and if you haven't seen that vlog, I would highly recommend that you go check it out because I did vlog us getting this. I actually didn't show this bag in the vlog, but I vlogged us when we went to get it. But even though this is a fake bag, it's so nice. Like, you can tell that it's a very nice quality bag. It comes with this little tiny bag right here on the strap, and I don't usually wear this little bag, but it's really cute anyway. It's like a very signature Prada thing. But even though this is fake, like, I feel like this is such a nice quality bag, but it just looks very sophisticated, and it's got like a lot of space in it. I could fit a lot of stuff in here. I just really love this bag. I'm not gonna like leave a link to the actual Prada bag, but I don't know, maybe I will, just so you can see what it looks like. But yeah, this is like 100% fake, but I love it. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I scared the kitty. Okay, this next item is an honorable mention, and this is also something that we got when we went to the Philippines. So this is another fake designer thing, but it is this mini Lady Dior bag. I have been wanting this little bag ever since I saw Emily Mariko wearing this bag at her wedding. Again, being 100% transparent with you, this is fake, but I think it's just so cute. It's not very practical. It's not as practical as a Prada bag, which is why this is an honorable mention, but I think it's so cute and I'm just like obsessed with it. I'd say from afar this looks kind of real, but I would say that for this one, I don't see very many people wearing this one. I do see a lot of people with the mini Lady Dior bags like this one, but I don't usually see this matte black one. I did look it up on the website before I bought this to make sure that it actually existed, but yeah, I don't usually see people with this one. And like I said, it's not very practical because the way that you open it up is actually like there's no, like, you have to like tuck in this flap or whatever. If anyone has seen the actual mini Lady Dior bags, does it actually open like that, or does it open up in a different way? Let me know because I'm very curious. Maybe in the future I will buy my own designer bag like that, but as of right now it's just like, why would I do that? So yeah, those are my favorite fashion items of 2023. Like I said, I'm being very selective of everything that I choose to talk about in this video because they have to be things that I 100% love and cherish. Next section is tech, and I have 4 items on this list. The first item on this list is the Sony headphones. I think they're like the MX 1400 or something. Let me actually look that up before I say something wrong. Okay, yeah, so I was completely wrong. It's the Sony WH-1000 XM4 noise canceling headphones. Why did they name it that? I don't know, but that's what they are. So I actually first got exposed to these when my partner bought them. He has the black ones, and before that I wasn't too interested in getting new headphones, but he got them, and then shortly after he got them we went on a trip and he let me try them on while we were on the airplane, and these things literally canceled out all of the noise. I could not hear a thing except for the music that I was listening to on his headphones. And so ever since then I've wanted a pair for my own, and these ended up going on sale for Prime Day back in August or July or something like that. I don't remember when Prime Day was, but they went on sale and I snagged a pair for myself, and I have really put these things to use. I wear them to work out, I wear them to edit my videos, I wear them to clean my apartment. I wear these literally every single day. You will not believe how good these things are at noise canceling, and also they have like a few features too where you can like swipe to raise the volume or skip to the next song if you're listening to music. They also have a feature where if you're wearing them and you cup your hand like this, you can actually turn off the noise cancellation so you can listen to somebody talk. Oh yeah, there's also like a feature, I've turned this off, but there's a feature where if you lift your headphone, it will turn off the noise cancellation or something. Like, it's just amazing. There's just like so many features on these headphones that I'm literally obsessed with. Like, it literally blows my mind that technology like this exists. But yeah, I'm obsessed with these. Next item in tech is actually the camera that you are watching this with right now. It is the Sony ZV-1F. Before I got this camera, I did a bunch of research on affordable cameras to get for vlogging, and I noticed that not many people actually talk about this camera. So the Sony ZV series is a series of cameras that Sony made that is geared towards making social media content. So for vlogging, making TikToks or what have you, like these are cameras that are meant to replace your phone. So a lot of people start off making YouTube videos or any sort of content on their phone, and these cameras are marketed towards people who kind of want to upgrade their phones. A lot of people talk about the ZV-1, which is another point and shoot camera, but that one was a little bit over my price range, and luckily I found the ZV-1F, which was cheaper, and honestly it didn't really have much of a difference in the quality of the video as the ZV-1. One notable difference between the ZV-1 and the ZV-1F that I remember is actually the wide angle of the lens. If I remember correctly, this one actually has a wider angle than the ZV-1, and that's something that I actually kind of wanted. Another notable feature of this camera is that it has a built-in mic. I feel like it's a really nice mic, you tell me. But yeah, that's definitely another feature that I really wanted in a new camera. I don't want to spend extra money to buy a new microphone, and so having a nice built-in camera was also another thing for me. So yeah, highly recommend the ZV-1F. Nobody really talks about this camera, and I don't know why, but it's definitely like an underrated camera. It was $500 when I got this camera, but I'm pretty sure it's on sale right now, so I highly recommend it if you are super into vlogging or if you know somebody that's into vlogging. Next technology favorite that I wanted to talk about is the Dyson V8 vacuum. So this is the very first Dyson item that my partner and I have ever purchased. To be honest, I never thought that I would be the type of person that would be able to afford a Dyson in the first place, but my partner one day was like, hey, this Dyson is on sale, I feel like we can afford it, let's get it. And he just got it, and I have been obsessed with this item ever since we got it. I think we got it like back in August or September or something, and ever since then we have been obsessed with vacuuming. I never thought I would say that, but it's a thing that we do now. The question is though, what makes a Dyson that great? What makes everybody buy a Dyson vacuum? I wonder this about a lot of things, honestly, but once we got the Dyson vacuum, I get it now. It's honestly not something that you should be getting if you have like 5 pets. It's honestly not meant for heavy duty vacuuming if you have a very large house. It doesn't have a big enough battery life for that. It does not have a big enough compartment to collect all the dirt in. What is that called? I honestly can't remember what that's called. Like the section of the vacuum where it collects all the dirt. But anyways, that's not big enough for like any heavy duty stuff if you have a lot of pets or if you have like a really big house. It's convenient for us because we live in a small apartment and we have 2 cats who shed quite a bit, so it's just like really quick and convenient to just bust out the vacuum and just vacuum stuff up. Since it's on a battery, you literally just like take it out of the battery charging station and just vacuum. You don't have to plug it in and like unwrap the wire before you start vacuuming. It's just like super convenient for us. Because of that, it's just really made vacuuming so much easier for us. And I honestly feel like the suction power of this is like really powerful. And honestly, just because it's more satisfying for us to vacuum with this vacuum, I feel like we've been vacuuming more frequently, and that has greatly improved the quality of our lives. So yeah, highly recommend this vacuum if you have like a small apartment and if you only have like a couple of pets. Like, don't be buying this vacuum if you have like 3 huskies that shed non-stop and have really thick hair, and also if you have like a really large house. Like, this is not gonna work for you if you have that. Last tech item that I wanted to talk about is the keyboard. Honestly, this should have been an honorable mention because I don't really feel like this has greatly improved the quality of my life, but it is a really satisfying item to have. I personally cannot afford to build an entire keyboard, but the keyboard that we had just like wasn't working for us, especially for gaming. My partner really loves to game on the PC, and he was just saying like there's no function buttons on here, like it's just not working out for me. So we bought this keyboard, and it's this really nice see-through keyboard, so it's very like, I don't know, I feel like it's very aesthetic. It reminds me of like jelly. I don't know, for me it's kind of nostalgic, especially like during the 90s when everything was see-through, like the old Game Boys and stuff. And my old keyboard came with brown switches, which is something that I really liked. I love the sound of the brown switches and also the feel of them. So we basically got a keyboard that looks the aesthetic that we wanted, and then we switched out the switches for the brown switches that came from my old keyboard. If you don't know what I'm talking about, the switches are the buttons that go underneath the keycaps. So we switched out the key switches that came with the see-through one with the brown switches, and it sounds so nice. I find it so satisfying to type on this keyboard. This is why this should be an honorable mention, because honestly, like, I don't feel like this is super life-changing or anything, but I think it's just really satisfying. If you know somebody that is super into tech or gaming or whatever, I think this would be a really good gift for them. Okay, we are on to the final section, and that is books. And I actually have 4 books on here with 1 honorable mention, so I will be talking about 5 books. The first book is Tomorrow and Tomorrow Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. This is a contemporary fiction novel about a couple of game developers. They are best friends when they're young, and then they have like kind of a fallout, and then they become friends again in adulthood. And it's basically the story of their friendship and how they became really famous game developers. This was one of the books that really got me out of my reading slump, and I will talk about the other book that got me out of my reading slump later on, but this was the second book that got me out of my reading slump. I 100% fell in love with this book, and I'm the type of person that is super into friendships in books, and I feel like this book embodied what I love in books about friendship. It's definitely a book that I will want to reread in the future because, I don't know, I'm just like obsessed with this book. I honestly wish that more people read this book, because the only person that I know that has read this book honestly didn't like it. So I highly recommend reading this book if you're in the market for a new book to read. I just want more people to read it and like give me their opinions, because I don't want to be the only one that loves this book. Next book on this list, I'm kind of back and forth with recommending this book because it is slightly traumatic. No, it's very traumatic actually. And that book is A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara. It is a book about a group of 4 friends, and it's literally about their entire lives from when they're in their early 20s all the way into their 50s. And it goes into great detail about literally every single person that is in these group of friends' lives. It focuses specifically on one of the friends, but it's honestly about like all of them. And that one specific friend went through a really traumatic childhood and honestly traumatic adulthood too. This entire book is just trauma, and honestly I don't know why I put this on this list. I don't recommend it, especially if you are not in the right headspace to be reading a book like this. If you feel like you're a mentally healthy person, then yeah, like go for it, but I'm not gonna say like, yeah, go and read this book, because it has a lot of traumatic things in it. I would say though that it is very cathartic to read books like this, but it's not something that you should be seeking out if you are not mentally healthy. not mentally 100%. But besides that, this book has amazing writing. I feel like it's so easy to read and get immersed into the story. You really get to know these people as if they are real life people. Even like the side characters, you just feel like you know them so well. And I feel like that's part of why this book is so traumatic, because it sucks you into these people's lives and then it tells you like the most traumatic thing about them, and you can't expect yourself to be detached from that. I hope that makes sense. But yeah, A Little Life, not for the faint of heart, but if you really want to read it, go for it. The next book in this list is a book called Yellow Face by R.F. Kuang. This is one of those books where the people who get it, you know? It's not meant to be something that glorifies any one single character. Every single one of the characters in this book kind of sucks. And that's something that you really have to go into this book knowing before you read it, because if you think that like there's any redeemable character in this book, then you're gonna miss the entire point of it. But this book is about a white girl who is frenemies with this Asian girl. Both of them are in the publishing industry, but the Asian girl is like the golden girl of the publishing industry. She's like the new up-and-coming author that everybody's obsessed with at the moment, and the white girl is kind of like off to the side. She's kind of having a hard time breaking into the publishing industry. One day, the Asian girl dies unexpectedly in a freak accident. This is not a spoiler, this is literally what the plot of the book is. And after witnessing the Asian girl's death, the white girl actually steals the manuscript for the Asian girl's new novel. She ends up publishing that novel under her own name, and she basically deals with the repercussions of that. This is actually from the POV of the white girl, by the way, and I feel like it is the most unhinged story. The amount of mental gymnastics that this girl goes through just to publish this book and justify publishing this book is insane. And I really think this was like a really cool and entertaining and unique way to bring up some issues in the publishing industry. I think that if you go into the story with that in mind, you will probably get it. Like, you'll understand the point of this book and enjoy it as much as I did. So yeah, that's Yellow Face. Highly recommend this book, especially if you're an Asian person. If you're an Asian person that is like aware of the issues, not only in the publishing industry, but like in society in general against Asians, then you will really enjoy this book. The next book that I wanted to talk about is A Court of Mist and Fury. I feel like everybody talks about this book, but I finally read it and I understand now why everybody loves this book. I read A Court of Thorns and Roses last year and I was like, okay, I don't know why everybody's obsessed with this series, but whatever, I'll buy it. But I finally read A Court of Mist and Fury and I finally get it now. You guys, like, if you are reading A Court of Thorns and Roses, don't base the entire series off of that book. Literally just read A Court of Mist and Fury and you'll get it. Don't be immediately turned off by A Court of Thorns and Roses is what I'm trying to say. Because yeah, that, like, honestly, it almost turned me off, but I was like, okay, I know that everybody loves A Court of Mist and Fury, so I'll give it a chance. These books do take a while to get into. Like, there's a lot of world building in these books, and believe it or not, there's even more world building in A Court of Mist and Fury. Like, even though it's the second book, there is just so much more to explore in this world. But if you're somebody that tends to get bored with all of that stuff, honestly, just like push through it and get to the end, because the ending is like where everything literally just happens. It's literally go, go, go once you reach that one chapter, and everybody who's read this book, honestly, you know what I'm talking about. So yeah, if you have read A Court of Thorns and Roses, honestly, even if you haven't read A Court of Thorns and Roses yet, I highly recommend this series. And then the last book that I wanted to talk about is an honorable mention, and that is The Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. This is another book that everybody's talking about right now, and I know it's like the new craze. It's the new A Court of Thorns and Roses, even though they can't really compare. But everybody's obsessed with this book, and so I read it because I want to be a part of this whole thing that's happening. I read it during my trip to the Philippines, and it actually got me out of a reading slump, which is why it's the honorable mention today. At first, I didn't really like it because I thought that it was glorifying the military when I really had the wrong idea. The country that it is set in is the one glorifying the military, but the book itself is not actually glorifying the military. I want to make that clear that I understand what's happening now, but at the time of reading it, I was like, what is this? Like, why is everybody just so into the military in this book? But looking back on it now, I realized that I had a lot of fun reading this book. I'm not going to discount the fact that I actually really enjoyed this, and it did get me out of my reading slump. Like I said, I won't say that it's on the same level as A Court of Thorns and Roses or A Court of Mist and Fury, but I really enjoyed reading it, and I feel like that's worth mentioning. If you're unfamiliar of what this book is about, it's basically about a girl who's trying to get into war college. She's trying to become a dragon rider in this war college, and the war college is separated into 4 quadrants. Obviously you have the riders, and then you have the scribes, which write all the books in the archives. You have the healers, self-explanatory, and the infantry, which is like just the soldiers that aren't dragon riders. But like the dragon riders are held at a different, higher standard than everybody else, and obviously because they literally ride dragons, and dragons are scary and powerful and stuff. But yeah, she is trying to become a rider, and it's like this very dangerous and deadly process to become a dragon rider. And that's basically what Fourth Wing is about. It's just like her becoming a dragon rider. It's a really fun book to read, especially if you're barely into reading and you just want to read something for fun. I highly recommend Fourth Wing, but if you haven't read A Court of Thorns and Roses, I recommend that over the Fourth Wing. Anyways, yeah, those are my 2023 favorites. I really hope that you enjoyed this video, or if it inspired you to get something for someone or for yourself. If you've used any of these items and you can vouch for what I'm saying, let us know in the comments. Or if there's any life-changing things that you've used in 2023, let us know so we can all collectively buy things that will improve our life. Anyways, yeah, that is it for this video. I really hope that you enjoyed it. If you like this video, I would highly recommend that you consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell if you want to see more content from me. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.